Mhm. Yeah. Obviously, you create the like amazing message.
Well, and the message comes from them too.
Right.
You know, like I went into this not knowing anything about food. That's
Right.
the thing, is that I needed the information that they had. That's part of why I was going there, is because I grew up eating junk food and not even understanding that what I was eating,
Mhm.
the amount that it was impacting my body and my health and my mind
Mhm.
and everything. It was probably only till I think I lived in Paris for a semester in school, and I
Mhm.
was cooking a lot there, and the
Yeah.
produce was very different. And I think then I started to realize, oh, what I've been eating at home
Mhm.
isn't food, or it's been sold to me as food, but it's not real food. And then so when I got back to Berkeley, and there's such access in California to good food, I started to, and once I started to make the movie, I really started to focus on what I was eating and just eating organic
Yeah.
food. And you know, once you find out
Mhm.
what the system is doing to our food,
Mhm.
if you're really thinking about it, you
Yeah.
can't keep eating that way.
Right.
And so that was actually maybe the biggest, most obvious change first, is I was just like, whoa,
Mhm.
I've been doing this wrong for
Yeah.
28 years. I need to get with the program.
Right.
And yeah, so that was a big change too.
I see. So, from your perspective, though, what change did you see in the people who watched your film? Have you not, like, maybe people around you, or like population in general, that the people you presented the film to, like, do you have any
Yeah.
sense?
Yeah. So, well, there's one thing, which is I'm really made the film in a way where I wanted everybody that was in the film to be able to watch it
Mhm.
and feel really good about the way that they're being represented.
Right.
And so first and foremost, the people that I showed it to were the people that were in the film.
Mm.
And I remember really clearly one time the first time I showed Jim,
Mhm.
the part that he's in,
Yeah.
and I showed it as just a short film just about him,
Right.
along with a couple other ones. So they were just 10 minutes about him,
Mhm.
and he's kind of vulnerable in just in being on camera, and also with the rabbit harvesting. That's a vulnerable thing to share,
Mhm.
and I was a little nervous. And I remember, after showing it, he came up to me and he said, that was me. You got me. That was me on screen. And that to me was like,
Yeah.
that's why I'm doing this, is because I am so in awe of Jim. He's
Mhm.
such an amazing person.
Yeah.
And to be able to show him himself and kind of reflect back and just champion him, and just, give him the kind of,
Mm.
what he deserves, and all the people in the film, that was, so that they were the first audience. I think
Mhm.
that I think there was an effect there, and I feel really happy about that,
Yeah.
proud of it. And then I really wanted the film to reach a lot of people, and so actually, I don't know if you know this, but I actually put the film on YouTube
Mhm.
before it was kind of finished,
Yeah.
the final version.
Mm.
There were a couple other sections in there where actually about Cuba,
Mhm.
and Brazil. That was just a short section that I cut together from footage from the internet, because I couldn't actually go there. I can share it with you if you want it. I probably still have it somewhere.
Sure.
But I felt that was a really important part of the story, and
Right.
I didn't know how to go about getting that footage, and I just wanted people to see it. And
Mm.
so I put it out on YouTube, and I said, it's out there, and then anybody who wants to use it for
Yeah.
whatever, helping the cause,
Mhm.
please use it. And so for a while, it was being used as sort of a fundraising tool for a lot of different organizations
Mhm.
around the US and actually around the world. I have a map somewhere of all the different places that it showed, but I think it was like, I don't know, between 75 and 100 screenings. And I think like maybe 100,000 plus views on YouTube. I don't totally remember, but
Mhm.
it was a pretty good response.
Yeah.
And I was like very happy that it seemed to be working. I mean, I wish I'd done a little bit better job at what you're doing. You're doing an amazing job at getting it out and really sharing with people. And I think after making the movie for that long, it took 5 years, I was just a little bit exhausted, and I didn't totally have the energy to like keep going. And you've taken the torch, and I really just I so appreciate that. And you're inspiring me. I want to remind people here that it exists. But yeah, so I think that had an effect, that people were using it to help what they were doing. And then also, after people would watch it and on YouTube and such, I heard a lot of times that people, started a garden after they'd seen it, or they wanted to do the same thing. And I didn't actually follow up with anybody. I don't know whether that's true, but I did hear a good amount of that. Yeah, actually, that's not true. I did meet a few people who had started a garden, and I saw their garden. So I know it's true in a few cases, at least. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Do you see like any, I don't know, the changes of like, I guess the society in general, what the shift from where you made the film, like, the vision of the film was trying, like it was a vision that you wanted to share to the US society or the people around you to head towards, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then, now it's, I don't know, that it was 2014 it get released, so it's like 6 years now.
Mm-hmm.
What do you see now, like?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna think about that for one moment while I get a little bit of water.
Yeah.
And I'll be right back. Yeah. I mean, if you have anything to say, just let me know. It just so happens that I'm spending the evening with my good friend Megan, who's really the person that helped finish the film.
Oh yeah.
She came in and helped me edit it.
Wonderful.
A little bit, and so she's overhearing.
Oh, great.
Rolling her eyes at me sometimes, and then also being very affirmative sometimes. But that's who she is. And she might have something to add. I just have Well, just hold on. Let me know if you want to say something.
I have multiple friends who saw Edible City and called me that they started a garden.
Okay, so there you go. Further confirmation. Yes. Megan has some friends that also started gardens.
That's wonderful.
Yeah. But yeah, so I think the changes, there's been a lot of changes.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I haven't been as tapped into the kind of on the ground actions as I was when I was making the film. I've tracked it some, but there's a lot of new things happening that I'm not aware of, and a lot of great things that are not in the film that if I were to make the film now, I would include some really amazing stuff that's going on.
Yeah. Which
maybe we can talk about. There's a couple models that I would love to share. You probably know about them, but I could just mention them.
Right.
But I think the biggest change here, at least, has been during this COVID time, where all of a sudden people are planting gardens, they're canning food, they're seeing how fragile the food system is and the entire system is. And there's something just instinctual, I think, about people just understanding how to take care of themselves in a way that 100 years ago would have been obvious to everybody.
Yeah.
But I think there's still a connection to that. And the people that are in the film and the people that have been involved in this kind of work, they are the thread that link a lot of us back. I don't feel like I was connected back to that at all. Like I didn't have anybody in my family growing a vegetable garden or even really understanding food. I was totally removed from that dimension of life, which I guess a lot of people are in the city. And so, but it's really been interesting to see how when there was this pressure from the pandemic, people really changed.
Yeah.
They had more time also, but priorities changed.
Right.
And so I'm really curious to see how this has impacted the whole culture.
Right.
But I think that's a big difference. Yeah.
I see.